It's day 2 of School Psychology Awareness Week, and we're talking to Lynn, School Psychologist at Nursery Road Elementary. She shared a little about how school psychologists help when there's been a crisis, while keeping student data is so important, and how they work directly with administrators.
School psychologists have unique training in data analysis, research, statistics. So we are very good resources to use when it comes to analyzing student data, designing effective programs for students, and progress monitoring on those programs. A lot of school psychologists are trained in what we call the PREPARE curriculum, which is a national curriculum, usually those people that respond to school crises. Several of us are trained and have done a great deal of work in revising our individual school crisis plans. So we are kind of the go-to person in devising the plans, revising the plans, and following through on the implementation of those crisis plans. We handle it a couple different ways. It depends on if it is a student who's had a death in the family, if it's the death of a faculty member. We have experienced all of those this past year here. Most times we will get the family's input on how they would like us to handle that type situation. Sometimes we do something as a whole school to help with the grieving process. A lot of times it's more private, but we provide counseling services. A lot of the other school psychologists from the other schools in the district will come and assist. So we're there to support each other as well as the faculty. A lot of times it's easier to rely on people outside of your school, outside of your own school, when it's a crisis within your own building, because you're close to that. It's hard to separate your own grief from the grief of the people in your building. It takes a lot of communication with the administrators to make sure everybody's on the same page. Our forms change, seems like almost every day. Here, one of the things we have done is after we have any type of group meeting, like the psychologist meeting or our administrators meetings, we will sit together and we will talk about what did you hear versus what did I hear, to make sure that we're interpreting those regulations and those changes in the same way. School psychologists these days are involved in a lot of the data teams. Here at Nursery Road we have PLCs, professional learning communities, we have response to intervention teams, we have the PBIS team. We're looking at a lot of different data, and since we are uniquely trained in statistics, we can provide some very helpful information on what does the data look like, what does the trend look like, when do we need to change the intervention. So we are involved in a lot of the data teams that are happening in the district.